Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the South Node in the 7th house in the natal horoscope. Well, as most of you know, the South Node is connected with what we may have overemphasized or accentuated a little stronger than maybe we needed to generally in the first half of our lives. And we hit a point approximately around age 30 where we say, well, this is kind of getting monotonous. It's been there, done that. It's kind of a redundant spot, is what I refer to it as in a person's horoscope. And we generally will feel compelled to go to where the North Node is. And while not necessarily eradicating the South Node completely from our lives, we may integrate it and at least a little bit into the North Node. Anyway, the first thing I'll look at with this placement, the South Node in the 7th house, it's obvious that there might be an overemphasis on relationships and partnerships, and while it may not have been, the relationships may not have been detrimental in terms of like a compatibility standpoint or anything of that nature, but when we look at this placement, the relationships with others may have maybe precluded this person from attending to his or her own needs to some degree. There might have been a strong need to negotiate, to want to be that person that is someone that likes to reconcile and kind of keep the peace in relationships, where at the same time the relationship with the self is what's really is very essential in order to have the stronger relationships with others. This person may have been maybe somebody that had worked very hard to try to pacify and appease other people and attending to others' needs, perhaps at the expense of his or her own. Now, going to one's own needs, that's not necessarily being egocentric or self-centered. It's about doing the things for themselves that are at least at the basic fundamental level in order to perhaps have better relationships with others, such as developing one's outer demeanor or their personality, and doing the things necessary where they can be a better, I guess you could say, a better part of a relationship with others. This person may have really been dominated and very engrossed in the lives of other people, and really while there's nothing wrong with being somebody that wants to appease others and other people, at the same time one must meet their own needs to some degree. The 7th house is also, it's connected, as you know, with secret enemies and adversaries, and there may have been some issues, possibly maybe some legal battles where whether the person emerged victorious or not, which may have caused a distraction perhaps from attending to themselves and their needs. The 1st house also, as we know, is associated with the physical body, and perhaps this person, for example, may have wanted to start a workout regime or routine or something, or an exercise program, and had maybe had some plans about doing things more in terms of getting their own, getting in shape, for example, where the relationships perhaps with others may have precluded this or prohibited this person from perhaps doing this at least to the level that he or she wanted to. And when we look at the North Node in the 1st, it shows where the person comes to the realization that they need to take care of things connected with their own interests and their physical body and their personality perhaps. And this is not to say that there was anything wrong. Anybody with the South Node in 7th house doesn't mean that there's something wrong with their personality, but they might have wanted to develop some attributes that they felt were going to be more beneficial to them, even in terms of relationships. And when this person finds out that they come to this, their revelation in their mind that, hey, I need to start making the relationship with myself may actually be paramount in terms of having the relationship with others, then the relationship with other people will come. They'll actually have more, I guess you could say, relationships which will be better for them. And the person that has this placement, the relationship can contain either and or platonic relationships, of course, romantic. It could be a significant other, it might be mixed in if the person is married. And now, if the person has someone with the South Node in the 7th house, doesn't necessarily mean that they have a bad relationship with a marriage partner or significant other. But as I stated before, it could indicate where maybe the partner's needs might have detracted this person from perhaps pursuing their own needs for their own self. And the first house is also associated with the person's their early childhood experiences, and it's possible early in life that maybe this person was so dominated by the needs of other people, even their friends, peers, contemporaries, whatever, that maybe that they were trying to help them out, that maybe they didn't help themselves out in certain ways. And maybe this is something where they felt like they could have done a little better for themselves during that period in their childhood, which they really didn't, might not have, due to the fact that they were so, their minds were so much on trying to be the ultimate people pleaser or what have you. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the South Node in the 7th house in the natal horoscope. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about the South Node in the 8th house in the natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis on a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.